Oops, and I- Good morning, beautiful people of Ekiti and beyond. You are tuned once again to Poetic Vibes on Abad Radio, your weekly bread of verse, rhythm, and soul. I am your host, Funke Awodia, the poet and sociologist of Abad. It's great joy to share this space with you this morning and this month on Poetic Vibes. Have been amazing. We've been journeying through powerful poetic voices of Africa. We have heard from the likes of Wale Soyinka, our own WS, to Lulakme Shonuga, Sil Chinikoka, all the way from Sierra Leone. But today we turn our gaze and our ears to a fearless voice shaking the continent with every stanza. Before I tell you about whose work we'll be looking at today, I want you to enjoy that song again from Brenda Fassie all the way from South Africa. Please don't touch this dial. I'll be right back.
Of energy, a beacon of strength, and a source of boundless love. A sun.
It feels good, Madiba, Madiba, Madiba. That is the voice of Brenda Fassie celebrating the Black president, Nelson Mandela of blessed and impactful memories. Ladies and gentlemen, you welcome to Poetic Vibes on Abad Radio, and I am your regular host, Funke Awodia, the poet and sociologist of Harvard. For the past 3 weeks and more, we've been having what I would call celebration of African voices via poetry on Poetic Vibes. We've listened to the likes of Titi Lokbe Shonuga, a Nigerian born and raised partly abroad, and she was the first poet in Nigeria to be featured at the inauguration of a Nigerian president. And also, we've celebrated the works and time and the victories of great African poets. That's WS, our home professor Wale Soyinka. And also, we celebrated Professor Sil Chinikoka from Sierra Leone. And today, through that music, I'm taking us to South Africa because we are going to be talking about a South African poet, a female South African writer who is not just writing but speaking fire. Today, we are going to feature Koleka Putuma. Koleka Putuma is a South African poet, playwright, and performer who has been hailed as one of the most exciting voices in African literature. Her debut collection, Collective Amnesia, is a literary earthquake, bold, raw, and radical. Koleka's work is not afraid to confront uncomfortable truths. She writes about love, black womanhood, sexuality, religion, and memory, With clarity and courage, our words are protest, praise, prayer, and all at once. So, I'm going to take us into her world by reading one of our stirring poems titled Water, a piece that reimagines water not just as a symbol of baptism and cleansing, but as a trauma of colonial conquest and resistance. I'll be reading that excerpt from here and I want you to enjoy it. They have turned the ocean into a graveyard where the bones of the enslaved and the dreams of the drowned echo in the city tides. But they want us to fear water. They want us to baptize our children in it. They want us to cleanse ourselves with it. They want us to forget that water remembers everything. Wow. Koleka Putuma don't just write poems, she writes thunder. That was an excerpt from Water, a haunting reflection of history, memory, and Black's body relationship to ocean. Through Koleka's poem, Koleka's pen, we are reminded that poetry is not just beauty, it is power, it is protest, it is healing, and it is necessary. I hope our words stirred something in you this morning, whether a question of memory or a flame. So, ladies and gentlemen, on Poetic Vibes on Abad Radio, I'll be going on another break. And when I return, the show we continue. Please don't touch that dial. It feels good, Madiba, Madiba, Madiba. That is the voice of Brenda Fassie celebrating the Black president, Nelson Mandela of. One nation bound in freedom, peace, and unity. Welcome back to Poetic. It feels good to be back on Poetic Vibes on Abad Radio. And if you're just joining the show for the first time, I'll say welcome to the biggest poetry program on radio. And I am your regular host, Funke Awudia, the poet and sociologist of Harvard. You can be a part of the program by calling the studio number 091-376-77275. I take that again. 091-376-77275. Last week I said you could also send me your poem on WhatsApp only on this number 07034815063. I take that again. 074 three no 07034815063. You can send me your poem or your reaction about how you feel about poetry. Yes, we've talked about an African poet who is speaking fire from the continent of Africa this time around from South Africa, and we read an excerpt of a poem talking about water, and that poem is taking us back to the memories of colonialism. And water is not just a symbol in that poem, water carries another kind of weight, a burden that the poet is trying to, talk about. Now, this morning on the show continue and I'll be reeling out more content, but I want to use this opportunity to reach out to everyone on the long list of the Nigerian Prize for Literature. NLNG Prize for Literature. The long listed books were released, 11 long lists as usual, last, I think 2 days ago or yesterday. I can't remember exactly, but the beauty of it all is that one of those books is going to win 100,000 US dollars. Did you hear that? Yes. That's the biggest prize for literature on the continent of Africa, and it is the Nigerian Prize for Literature. So, I'm using this opportunity to reach out to NLNG, make the books more available. Let's promote books, not just the cash prize. Anyway, I'll be reading those books. Hopefully, last year I read 9 out of the long listed books, and eventually one of them that I read won 2 years ago. I did the same thing. So, to my audience out there, I want you to look out for the books on the NLNG Prize for Literature. Read these books. Something is happening gradually. Reading culture is coming back. It's not totally dead. And one of the ways to bring back the culture of reading is what NLG is doing, promoting literature, and not just promoting by handshake, giving cash prize. Although we expect that the prize can do more by impacting the writing communities and writing spaces, not just individual authors. However, the most important thing is that somebody out there, an organization out there, is still promoting literature. And next year is going to be the prize will be for poetry. We look forward to reading great poems and good books, and one of them eventually, God's willing, will pick a prize. So if you are a poet out there, keep working hard. Maybe next year is your turn to become the biggest writer on the continent of Africa if you pick up the Nigerian Prize for Literature. 3 years ago, Romeo Oriogun won the prize for poetry category, and Romeo Oriogun decided to share with his friends. Three of them were on the list: Suwedi and I've forgotten the third person's name, and they share the prize money, which was not even what the organizer have in mind. By and large, if you're a poet out there, get ready, sharpen your pen. I'll be going on another break, and when I return, Poetic Vibes on Abward Radio, we continue. Please don't touch this dial. I need you to be there. One nation bound in freedom, peace, and unity. Welcome back to la 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 la. Good is happening. Something good is happening. Something good is happening. Something good is happening on Abad Radio 88.1 FM. And the good thing is Poetic Vibes is a therapy for you. And it feels good to be here with you, sharing the space with you at this hour of the day. How are you doing? If you just joined the program for the first time, I say welcome to the biggest poetry program on the radio. And I am your regular host, Funke Awodia, the poet and sociologist of Harvard. For the past 25 minutes and more, I have been sharing poetic content, and the poet of the week for today is Koleka Putuma. She is a powerful and pioneering voice whose poetry and theater interrogate deep and often uncomfortable truths about South African society. Her works bridges activism, artistry with grace and urgency, making her defining a cultural figure and a national figure. I want to say more a bit about this writer that I have talked about, and I have read an excerpt from our work before going on a break. Okay, born in Port Elizabeth, South Africa on March 22nd, 1993. She graduated with a BA in theater and performing and performance from the University of Cape Town. And some of our words in recognition is the 2014 National Poetry Slam Championship in South Africa, Penn South Africa Student Writing Prize, and she won that prize with a work that I read an excerpt from, Water. And also she also won the Mbokodo Rising Light Award, CSA Playwriting Award, and she also won the 2019 National Playwriting Award for her work No Easter Sunday for Quiz. And she also won another prize, which is the Standard Bank Young Artist Award in Poetry, the first time it was awarded in that category. And a notable work includes other stage works published in 2014, Woza Sarafina, and children's theater published in okay, published like in 2024. I don't have the exact date, but by and large, she has been very busy working on poetry. Her debut collection was Collective Amnesia, published in 2017. Okay, she rose to prominence with the poem Water, and Water is what I have read an excerpt from. So this South African poet, like I said earlier, is not afraid to talk about uncomfortable truths, and that's one of the power of poetry. So if you are out there, are you afraid to talk about some things? Maybe you should hide under the page of poetry. So far, it is impactful. Don't hide under the don't hide under the banner of poetry to do something that is against humanity. However, poetry is always found in the hands of good people. I said good people, people who are interested in doing great things for humanity. And I hope the words of the poet I am featuring today and other poets can inspire you to move you to great things. I'm still on the show today, Poetic Vibes on Abad Radio. I'm going on another very short break, but when I return, the show will continue. Please don't touch this dial. I need you to be there.
Mo ń náwó sí yẹn gbọ́. Orí táìmù yín kú 5 minutes o.
Good morning once again. If you're just joining the show for the first time, this is Poetic Vibes on Abad Radio, and it looks like we are on the final bend of the show. It has been awesome doing this every week, and I enjoy myself. I hope you're enjoying Poetic Vibes on Abad Radio too. Looks like I have less than 4 minutes to go on the show, but I can still do something with that. Okay, first of all, I want to talk once again about the Nigerian Prize for Literature. Congratulations to all the long listed authors. I hope the best book wins the prize, 100,000 US dollars for the Nigerian Prize for Literature. And also, before I go, I also want to say a special shout out to anyone out there who is facing life challenges. I'm saying this shout out because you are visible, you are powerful. Don't allow life to break you. And if you love poetry, find solace in poems that can inspire you, that can lift you above your pains and challenges. So also, now it's time to say thank you to the Abwad family. Oh, I want to start this thank you by saying a special thank you to our founder, Are Afe Babalola. Thank you for giving us a platform like this where we can reach out to the outside world to inspire people to move them to greatness. And also to the Abwad Radio family crew. Special shout out to the coordinator, Laigi Ajishefe, to my production manager for today, Olushola. Thank you. Sean Peters, I see you. Emmanuel Ogumilade, well done. And also to Ifeoluwa Ajirenke Falade Vincent. Thank you to Adeyemi Faleye. Thank you. Until I come your way again, please don't forget, water is good for the body, but poetry is good for the mind. Keep reading poetry. Funke Awudia. Bye for now. The more Joe.